I'm Tony. I'm 53 years old. I'm a former Marine. I did some time in the Army after 9/11. I've been a firefighter 26, 27 years now. I was struggling. I had a little incident with my stepson. I don't know where this came from. I unloaded on that kid like I never have in my life. And it was such a regret. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Is what happened. So I started reaching out through the EAP program. I started to go see a therapist. I'm doing yoga. I'm trying meditation. I'm working and nothing is changing. I'm just getting more and more withdrawn. I was skipping meals. I just go in my office. I'm the battalion chief down there, so I got a little separate area. I would just stay away from them, or I'd go and sit out on the porch and read my book. I was very withdrawn. I didn't want any kind of human contact. Just the thought of having to go and talk and be around people would just give me anxiety. I mean, I would do it. I would fake my way through it. You know, family get-togethers, things like that. Only thing I could interact with there for the longest time was my dogs. I was coming home from work, grabbing my dogs, and disappearing into the forest for several days, and then coming back and getting through my days. And that had gone on, I don't know how long it was going on, a long time, and I just didn't realize it. And a guy that I work with, I had an incident with him. I felt like he was taking advantage of our relationship. He did something, and I cut him off. So this guy walked into my office and said, "Hey, can I talk to you?" I'm like, what do you want, man? Well, he lays out to me, he had been going through all kinds of stuff. He had gone to rehab out of state. He can see that I'm kind of struggling. I'm really withdrawn. I don't want to be a part of the crews. I could barely stand to be out there eating chow with them. You eat, and then I just have to leave because I'm afraid of what I'm going to do, what I'm going to say. Am I going to blow up? Am I going to start bawling? I just want to be withdrawn. So he is talking about this. He had just started. He was talking about it a little bit at work. I was kind of paying attention to it. I go home, I watch a documentary called Fantastic Fungi the night before. I'm like, wow, and they're talking about how the evolution of the brain and a different perspective. And Ray calls me the next morning and says, "Hey, you know that study I was talking about?" I go, "Yeah, what is that?" And he was like, "Ketamine." He goes, "Is that psychedelic?" He's like, "Yeah." I go, "Yeah, what about it?" He goes, "They got a spot." And I just jumped on it because I was just desperate. I go, "I'll do it." So I came into it. I told him I'd do it without knowing really anything about it. So I get to work. He gives me Dr. Wong's number. And I'm just so desperate that I just called him. And after I talked to Dr. Wong, which is something I've never experienced before, I've never had a medical doctor spend the amount of time talking to you as an equal, as a peer, that somebody wants to help you like these guys have. What they said to me was, it's almost like you're hitting the fast forward button. The stuff that you've been working on and trying, you can get there. It takes a lot of discipline, a lot of effort. And most people, I think a lot of people give up. After that first infusion, I felt different, but to be honest, I wasn't really following through with the work. I'm like, oh, I'll get to it, because I felt kind of melancholy. I wasn't really sure what was going on. And I came in for the second one, and every time you come in here, all three docs are in there. They're talking to you. They're asking if you're doing the work, if you're following through. And I felt kind of guilty. Like, man, these guys are putting a lot of effort into me, and I'm not doing my part. So after that second infusion, I went home. I started doing everything they asked me to do. The journaling, the meditation, the mantras, listening to my coach, watching the movies, reading the books, and it started to work like within a week. It's almost like a yoga studio, if you've ever been to a yoga studio. Calm, relaxing, comforting. It's not like going to a doctor's office at all. They sit down and talk. They're not in a rush. They spend as much time as you want. That's what they spend. I've never been pushed out. "Hey, Tony, we got to get going." I'm telling you, I've sat in here and talked with these guys for an hour after an infusion. It's just completely changed the way I feel about myself and other people. And I actually started looking forward to the family coming over and being around them. I'm much more approachable. I guess I used to throw off this aura, especially when I was not at work, like, don't even approach this guy. He is unapproachable. Just the vibe I'm throwing off, stay away from me, because I don't know if I was afraid of I was gonna get hurt, they wanted to take something from me. I don't know what it was, but I was unapproachable. And the coach that I have explained it. She's like, you're like you were going through your life like a mother grizzly bear with her cubs. You perceived any kind of threat, you would charge instantly to put people back on their heels and keep them away from you because you were afraid that you were going to get hurt or something bad was going to happen. So that has completely changed that. All I want to do is make people feel good now because of the way I feel, because of what they've done for me here. They've made me feel good, and I just want to pass that along. If you're struggling and if you're going to see counseling, you're trying meditation, you're trying yoga, this ketamine, it's like hitting the fast forward button. If you've been working and struggling, this will get you over the hump. And just like anything else in life that's worthwhile, it requires discipline and work. So if you're thinking that you're just gonna come in and get an infusion, you're gonna be better, yeah, maybe for a few days, but it's a part of it. It's just like anything else that you do. There's not one little magic bullet, but it's a big and important part, but you have to do the work. So if you're struggling, you're already doing those things, like I was, this will change your life. You really feel like these guys care about you. I honestly think that they would do it for free if they could. I really do. They really care. They've changed me. So if you're considering doing it, I wouldn't hesitate. Get them on the phone, talk to them, and they will immediately put you at ease. It's nothing to be afraid of. And if you need the help, you should go for it. Ask.